Welcome to the Happy Humanoid's Perspective, where your beliefs are challenged, thoughts provoked, and where you may find your happy place whether you like it or not.
And here are your hosts, Edith and Miles. Woohoo!
Welcome everyone to our show. It's episode number 24. My name is Miles and I am an Access Consciousness Facilitator, joined tonight again by my lovely birthday wife.
Yes. Hello everybody, my name is Edith and I'm an Access Certified Facilitator as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Welcome
What is
to our
the
show.
Yes. What is the topic for tonight?
Tonight's topic is asking questions beyond logic and creating more. Very interesting.
What does that mean for you?
Well, you know, we've talked about asking questions before, and we're going a little bit more depth on this podcast about asking questions, and really it's about going beyond logic. Like I have a tendency to think logically and use my brain to create my life in a way that I think the way it needs to be created. And by doing that, it's can be a limitation and refined. It doesn't always turn out the way that I would like for it to turn out. So we're going to talk about different ideas about different topics about asking questions and creating beyond logic, because logic can be a trap.
Yeah, the logic first the logic comes from the mind. Mm-hmm. And the mind is about creating the same thing over and over again. So if you desire to create something new in your life, and something lighter, because the logic will often create heaviness in our universe. How many times in your life you're going to choose something that is logical instead of choosing something that is light? So everywhere you believe that by choosing whatever was logical was what would create more for you, well, you know, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shorts, boys and beyonds. You know, we've had a lot of practice being logical, and we haven't had a lot of practice in my life coming from a space of choosing by asking questions and following the energy. Because it's such a new concept in this reality to really fly by the seat of your pants, not know where you're going, not having any real plan. I mean, you can have a plan, but it's just coming from a place of logic. There's like the Tony Robbins thing about you've got your first action and then your sub actions, and then this is how much time it takes to do this action, then you move on and so on, and you get your ultimate goal. Well, that may or may not happen, and it's usually going to be from a space of pushing and trying to force something into place. And it's it's not, maybe there's an easier way to do it, and maybe there's a way in which that we can create more and be more in the space of having fun and really enjoying what we're doing and creating from a space of really expansive, something new kind of energy. So everywhere that we have bought into that the logic is the way in which we create, and the other thing is just some foo-foo thing that we may hear about at the rainbow gatherings or something. So everything that is we destroyed and uncreated that times gazillion.
Right and wrong, good, bad, pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. And we get distracted by the logical reason. How many times, if you look at what you live in your life and you look at, I don't have a choice, or this is what is logical for me to do. Look at this. Does that create more for you, or do you believe like you follow some kind of structure here? Yeah. Because the logical mind will be like, it's logic for me to do this, the next thing. And when we function from awareness, it's not a structure that is in place. It's more like a system. The energy is totally different. There is a lot of possibilities that are available. It's light, there's expansion. Yeah. So everywhere you have been distracted by the logical reason for you, when it's time for you to choose something, will you now create and destroy it all times a godzillion?
Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pocket, online shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, we have an example of that just in our own life, how choosing logic versus asking questions and following the energy is very different. Like we were in a space in the west coast of Florida, which was not logical. It didn't make sense. It wasn't in any way planned in a way that would have made sense in our, basically in our moving forward. Because we have a place in Orlando, and I know have connections in Orlando, and the whole place is really, it wasn't any a mystery over there for me. But we began asking questions like, okay, well, what would we really like to be, and what would be more expansive, and what could we create? Can we create what we desire in this space in Orlando? And it was heavy, you know, it wasn't really expansive. And maybe we could have, but it wasn't an easy choice, let's say. And if I would have chosen logic, I would have said, okay, this is where we're going. This is the way it's going to work. And then if Edith didn't ask questions, she would like, yeah, that's logical. Let's go there. But we both asked questions and we made another choice. And now we're on the west coast of Florida, and we're having so much more fun, and just the lightness that we have and expansion that we have and just the ease in our life is very different. And that's something that's new, you know. It's like, yeah, it's just a new reality of choosing from a space of question, like asking questions, and not honoring the lineage of logic. So everywhere that we are honoring the lineage of logic, will you destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion?
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and puck, all nine shorts, balls and beyonds. Yeah, and when we ask a question and we follow the energy, whether it is logical or not, this is where it will create much more. And while we ask question, follow the energy, get the awareness and follow this awareness. And this is sometimes the challenge that is in this. It's about, okay, do I believe in this? Do I trust that? Sometimes this is a question of trust.
Yep.
Well, what if it's about asking question there? Hey, what would it take if I choose this? If I choose to follow that energy, what will my life be in 5 years? What will be created in 5 years? And if I don't choose it, what will my life be in 5 years? I know I always come back to the same kind of tools. And at the same time, those are the tools that will bring, well, those are the tools that I am using now to create my life. And it brings me to something so much bigger, so much bigger. And yeah, here, while the challenge for some is about letting go of the logical and follow the energy. So what would it take for you to be at ease with following the energy, following whatever is light, and being at ease with that? Well, and everything that doesn't allow that, will you know, create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, online shorts, boys and beyonds. It's almost like in this reality, it feels like you're going against the grain to choose from awareness and asking questions. It's like it's just not right, you know. Just there's this energy of like, if it doesn't make sense, if you can't prove it, then you don't go in that direction. It's I think for me, it's like being courageous enough to follow the energy and being courageous enough to ask the questions. And that brings me to a place where I think there's like asking generative questions. There's, you know, it's like creating something more, creating an expansion, creating, you know, what else is possible? What would I really like to choose here? What could I create in this new space, or whatever the question is? It's like there's the question of, okay, so the first maybe phase of that would be, when you might get yourself in a bind, then you start asking questions. What happened? What else is possible? Those are questions like out of sort of reaction. There's this reaction kind of questions about, I want to get myself out of this. I'm uncomfortable. This isn't working for me. Those are questions you might want to ask, expensive questions to get yourself out of there. And then there's a set of questions when you might ask on a daily basis to create something of your life for the future. Like, what would it take for me to generate and create an extra $100,000 this year, or whatever that is? You may ask those in the morning. Those are like sort of ongoing questions. And then there's maybe there's another phase. It's like living the question and having that be the path in which that you choose your life. It's like following Edith around all day. She asks questions about everything. She'll ask her body if she wants to eat this. She'll ask questions about if she chooses this, what will her life be like in 5 years? Or if she doesn't choose this, what will her life be like in 5 years? That's really inspiring for me to see that in action. It's like I don't ask as many questions as she does. And it's nice because she's living more in the question of creating her life from the question and not from the space of feeling, or not from the space of logic, or not from the space of this is what I should do, this makes sense to me, or whatever. It's more of a space of, okay, if I choose this, what would my life be like? And then there's another phase, it's like living the question, like being in the question, and like not even having to ask the question. You're in this space of always sort of like being in the question. So there's not like, you're not just distinguishing when you're asking the question and when you're like looking for some energy to follow. So yeah, and I think a lot of us tend to, we begin from the phase of reaction. It's like something dramatic happens or something like that. You're like, oh, what just happened? What's going on here? And then we're asking questions, which is good. And what would it take for us to generate and create the kind of energy and focus on asking questions with everything that we do, but making it a sense of ease and just a part of our life. So everything that doesn't allow that, we destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, part and puck, all nine shorts, balls and beyonds. Your logical mind justifies everything you do and does nothing to create infinite possibilities. Yeah. And we had this thought that our logical mind this is what is magic. Yeah, in this reality, that's what we think it is. So everything you believe that your logical mind is what will create magic into your life, will uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pride and pocket, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah. You got some more there? You want to?
Yeah. I asked this question to Gary when we did the class Advanced Pragmatic Psychology, because what is pragmatic? Being pragmatic in our life is first to see whatever is there, to see it and allow it to be, and it's, I forgot what I wanted to say. What will it take for me to remember? Yeah, and it's about, and doing whatever. Pragmatic is about doing whatever will function in our life, and with no point of view. And I asked Gary, what is it that prevents me from being a futurist, pragmatic futurist? Yeah. Or to be totally pragmatic. And he told me, he said, this is your logical mind. And he gave us a clearing that I will give it to you. That is the opposite of what I just said, which is about what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be the logician rather than the magician. That I think the logic is magic. So everything that is, we uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Why this? Why is it the opposite of the other one? It's about it being in that space where we don't have any point of view. It's, you know, we say logic, this is what it is, and you don't have to be logic anymore, you have to be this. So we create a polarity by doing this. And by asking this question, and I'm going to repeat it, brings us in a space where the mind is like, whoa, what is this? So with this, we uncreate the polarity. So what energy, space, and consciousness can I be? To be the logician rather than the magician that I think the logic is that is magic. So everything that is, we uncreate and destroy it all times a gazillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online, shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, it's like we're trying to figure things out. Did you have something else there that you were going with?
No, fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's like the figuring out aspect is really the logical mind. And how much of the space of creating could we actually have if we were to allow the energy of consciousness to give us more possibilities? It's like we get in our own way with the logical mind. It's like we're trying to figure things out. We're trying to sort it out before we move forward. I do that in the past, and I still do it today sometimes. It's like, and I think it's just really getting accustomed to asking questions and making it like a regular thing, and just make a little plan for yourself. Okay, what would it take for me today to ask 100 or 10 questions? Just in my daily life, I'm not trying to get out of anything. I'm not trying to create anything crazy or wonderful. Just saying, what would it take? You know, like, body, would you like to drink this? You know, whatever it is, or what would my life be like in 5 years if I went for a walk, or what would my life be like in 5 years if I read a book or worked on my business, or whatever that is, or what would my life be like if I chose something that was fun? And just start playing with that in just a little incremental progression. And it's just about building that muscle, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So everywhere that we have, everywhere that we're in our own way to our path to consciousness, and everything that doesn't allow us to become aware of when we're becoming our own way, we destroy and uncreate all that times a gazillion.
Yeah. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. An example today. Last year, I presented a class in French about your body, a real expert in weight reduction. And when came the time to do the class about the abuse, I remember at that time, in the way that I was thinking, it was about, because I gave people questions to use in their life about abuse, you know, to clear the energy that was there. And today I'm presenting this class now, a year later, with the consciousness of the bodies. I asked the consciousness of the bodies if this question will create something for the bodies, or whatever will be created from the point of view of the consciousness of the bodies. And today I was, well, for this class I had 14 pages of questions. And I asked every question. Okay, is this one, I was reading the question, what is it? Will it create more for you? Will it create? And I removed 2 pages of these questions because they were creating more heaviness than possibilities, more and lightness. And I saw myself.
Are you saying that your class reduced its weight? Very weird. Changing.
Yeah. And I saw myself today fighting against that. You know, it's like, yes, but, you know, and I realized, oh my God, I tried to be logic here. Why don't I just follow the energy of the lightness? And I chose to go with what I was receiving from the consciousness of the bodies, and I removed it. And the more I remove these, it seems like it created lightness in my life. Just by the way, just by choosing this for the class that is tomorrow, that I have not presented it yet, the lightness was present in my life. And still I was trying, I wanted to fight. So everywhere you fight. Because when we are in our logic mind, we have to justify. I was trying to justify why I had to keep these questions. Mm-hmm. And I saw myself 1 year ago saying to myself, oh yeah, that's a good question. But it just kept people in their head. It was not about the body or to liberate the thing. So everywhere you keep yourself stuck and incarcerated in the justification and in justifying everything you do or you don't do. Well, uncreate and destroy at all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, all night shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, I really like what you said there about when we're coming from a space of logic or the logical mind, we got to justify our choices. It's like it's really just setting ourselves up to be defensive, and limit what's possible, as opposed to choosing what's light. It's like there's no like, it's so light, it's like there's no parameter there, there's no border or boundary. It's just like there's no having to justify that. And how much of what we do when we're creating from a logical mind are we self-sabotaging us? It's like maybe the universe is there to have our back and provide for us and create more possibilities. And how much of the logical mind do we keep out the consciousness and keep out the possibilities of having a lot of really wonderful, amazing things show up in our life. So everywhere that we have self-sabotaged ourselves knowingly, that we are keeping out consciousness, and everywhere that we're defending against consciousness, will you destroy and uncreate all that times godzillion, please?
Mm-hmm. Right and wrong, good and bad, part and puck, all nine shorts, bows and beyonds.
Yeah.
Are there demons that are there a lifetime where the logical mind was almost your God? The logical, oh my God. Your logical mind was acknowledged as, was acknowledged as being almost the divine part of you. Wow. So everything that is will you uncreate and destroy at all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, all night shorts, boys and beyonds.
And are there all the demons that keep you in your logical mind? Do you want them to leave now, forever and ever, for the eternity? Return to from whence it came, and never to return to us, our bodies, or into this reality ever again. Return to from whence it came, and never to return to us, our bodies, or into this reality ever again. Whoa, cool. Return to from whence it came, and never to return to us, our bodies, or into this reality ever again. Cool. Return to from whence it came, and never to return to us, our bodies, or into this reality ever again. Whoa. May all you leave with your luggage and your electromagnetic and chemical imprinting of all kind, right and wrong, the back, puck, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Whoa. The thing is when, when we have these stories and we get stuck in our stories, when we are in a story, what do we try to do? We try to justify, we try to find conclusion, we try to explain something, and and justify the decision that we made, the decision that So, and when we stay in that kind of cycle, dynamic, we will never get free of it. Because from the logical mind, there must be something wrong, and someone was wrong and someone's right. And in that world, if we keep ourselves in this world, do we have the peace of mind? The only way to have peace of mind is if we are right. I mean, in this reality, and it takes so much energy to be right. Yeah. Ugh. So what if you desire in your life, you desire to create more? What if it stops believing in your story and destroying everything that is there that hold the story in place? Okay, so all the thoughts, feeling, emotion, 606, decision, judgment, conclusion, computation. Well, causal incarceration, causal inculcation, causal incongruities, and causal did I say incarceration, inculcation, incongruities, and there's one missing, causal realities will that keep you in chain, keep you stuck and chained, incarcerated in your stories again and again. Well, you know, and create and destroy it all times a gazillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nice, shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, with that, with the story too, it's like once we're in this story and we're trying to, if something doesn't work out the way we want, we're trying to go back and figure out what was wrong. You know, what did we do wrong? We're like sort of backtracking still within that circle, and not, instead of like asking a question and saying, okay, what else would I like to have here? What else could I choose here? It's still trying to logically figure out what went wrong. You know, where did I go wrong? What did this person say? That wasn't really what I wanted to hear. And this whole dynamic of like trying to still like in this muck and trying to clean out the muck. And it's like, we can just choose to go in a different direction, ask another question. And also I want to say, like, when you choose choose from a space of, choose from questions or ask questions and choosing the lightness and not from logic, there is this space, there's this expansion, and it feels different and it feels weird. And you may feel like you're lost or you're not grounded or you're spacey or whatever that is. And that's great. You know, it's not in the space of trying to, you may not have any sense of where you are. You know, it may be in this sort of like free-form space, which is great because you have so much more opportunity, so much more possibility there, not opportunity, but possibility to choose from. So everywhere that you in the past have touched on this space of living in the question and you thought it was wrong and you were spacey and you bought into this reality saying that this is not the place you need to be, that you need to be grounded, you need to be logical, you need to have a plan, you need to know what's coming the next day and all this stuff. Will you destroy it and uncreate all of that, please, times a gazillion?
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And what is it for? What will make by asking questions? How are we going to create more by asking questions? It's about, because when we ask question to the universe, to consciousness, the consciousness doesn't have any point of view. The consciousness includes everything and judge nothing. The consciousness is there to support us. The consciousness will always bring us in another space to create more. Doesn't have any point of view about what we think is our limit, where we are limited. Doesn't see that. The consciousness doesn't see that we have limitation. So yes, so if we allow ourselves, the consciousness function from this big realm of infinite possibilities. Mm-hmm. So if we desire to create more in our life, it's about asking questions to consciousness.
Yeah.
It's about asking questions to the universe. The universe is filled with consciousness. The universe, yeah. Well, that's my point of view. What I saw, what I perceive is The universe is filled with consciousness. So, yeah, so if you desire to, are you afraid? Are you afraid of what consciousness can provide you as information? Whoa, so everywhere you're afraid of what consciousness will provide as information. So you better keep yourself in your little world, because you're afraid of what is on the other side. Whoa, well, and create and destroy all that times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online, shorts, pros and beyonds. It might be fear misidentified, like joy misidentified as fear, or excitement. Because it's like, what's the possibilities of having that, and is it really okay for me to have that kind of life, to be living in that free-form, expansive, amazing, ongoing living? Is that really accepted here?
So what would it take for you to allow yourself to jump into these possibilities, to jump into, or to choose? Sometimes it's not about jumping, it's about choosing it and asking questions about that. And asking question, and one of the questions that I like to ask before getting awareness of anything, it's about all the projection, expectation, rejection, judgment, separation, conclusion that I have regarding this result, regarding the answer that I will receive from consciousness. I am create and destroy all that, which when I do this, when I ask this question and I use, of course, the clearing statement, it brings me in a space where I can receive whatever is available, whatever. And well, up till now, my experience for me when asking questions and follow the likeness brought me into space of more joy, more possibilities, more me, more the being that I truly be, more space, more likeness, more fun. And why would it be different for you? Yeah, why would it be different? Consciousness doesn't have any point of view about anything. So, yeah, what I want to say here, why would consciousness would be against you? So everywhere you believe that, consciousness is against you. Wow. Well, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, online, shorts, boys and beyonds. I also want to add to what you said, Edith, about when you clear all the points of view. It's like, how many of us are asking questions with an agenda? Like we say, what would my life be like in 5 years? And you're like really wanting that to happen, or really wanting to make that choice. That's not really giving yourself awareness. That's coming from a space of logic and projection and expectation and all the things that don't really give you the possibility of really what's possible. So everywhere that we've come into we're bastardizing asking questions with an agenda, will you destroy and uncreate all that times godzillion, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, both and beyonds. Hey, we are already at the end of our show.
Yep, end of our show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Check out our website if you're interested in our upcoming classes. We have a few products still on our products page and things that are happening with us. Check it out, happyhumanoids.com, and come back and see us next week, same time, same day, and we'll have another interesting topic to explore
with you. And if you have suggestions about something you would like to us talk about, please send us an email, and we'll be more than delighted to provide whatever we have or we are inspired about this subject. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks for joining us. See you again next week.
Yep.
Ciao. Thanks for listening, and please give us a honk of support by subscribing, commenting, and sharing the show with your friends. Or if you didn't like the show, please share it with your enemies. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.